Thank you. Thank you to the panelists. I couldn't agree more. As you all know, it is such an important game changer for so many families to have that support for many reasons. There's one question I have, though, and I'm going to direct it to Mr. Detta Gupta. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 denied the child tax credit to roughly 1 million low-income children in immigrant families who lack a Social Security number, even though their parents face payroll and other taxes on their income, right? And so my question to you is, these are some of the most in-need children in our country, and what is the long-term impact if these children are continued to be denied benefits?
Thank you for that question, Senator Cortez Masto, and for your leadership on this issue. Look, one of the goals of the child tax credit is to reduce child poverty, and any exclusions are going to harm children who are growing up in this country and who are going to live in this country by and large. So as you pointed out, it was up to 1 million children who were restricted because of this completely new requirement that was not in place before. Folks are paying taxes. Nobody doesn't pay taxes in the United States. You can't function without paying taxes. Mm-hmm. Sales taxes, property taxes, income taxes, federal, state and local often are more regressive. And remember, many of these children are part of mixed status immigrant families, which include U.S. citizen children as well. So the whole family can suffer. There's estimates that restoring access to these children currently being excluded can have an impact of up to $3.3 billion. As we discussed earlier before you joined, we know the child tax credit helps children do better in school, have better health outcomes, reduced interaction with the foster care system, reduced interaction with the criminal legal system, and do better as adults, including through more schooling and better.
But let me just say, for those reasons, do you see there should be a distinction between these children and other children?
No, they're children.
Right. And their parents are paying taxes. And just like you said, they come from mixed families. Yeah. And they're in our communities. And so I can't stress this enough. I think because I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but this is such an important issue and area because we don't want to leave any of our children out. Clearly, there's more work to be done, and I, like my colleagues, support the child tax credit, and I think it has provided benefits. You all know it. You see the data. We see the data. It's there. But I do not think we should, quite honestly, distinguish amongst children just because they are immigrants or come from immigrant families. It's outrageous to me. So I thank you. And I don't know if you have any other comments around here, but this is really such an important issue for me because there's so many families across the country that have children that have been denied, which is outrageous, I think, on its own, that we are not really fighting for all of our children.
And it just adds one more layer, one more obstacle, one more administrative burden to folks. So look, at the end of the day, children are children. We don't have work requirements for attending public schools. And one day I hope we'll realize that a basic income is something every child deserves.
That's right. Thank you. Anybody have any other comments? Let me just ask, anything else that has not been addressed that you would like to put forward in the hearing that hasn't been asked? Yes.
Well, we talked a lot about the war on poverty, and I just wanted to say a little bit about that. So one of the misunderstandings about the war on poverty is this idea that it was about income transfers. Income transfers had very little to do with the war on poverty. The war on poverty was primarily about human capital and health care. So when we talk about how much we've spent since the war on poverty, it was almost entirely Medicare, Medicaid, and we did spend some on education and workforce. But what happened afterwards, we realized some of the error, and we have a Republican president, Richard Nixon, signing supplemental security income for folks with disabilities. We have a Republican president, Gerald Ford, signing the earned income tax credit. Then on a bipartisan basis, we've got the child tax credit, and so on and so forth. But if there was any failure in the war on poverty, it was that it did not try to address the underlying economic structure, systems, rules, policies, and it did not do enough on transfers.
Thank you. Let me just say thank you to our witnesses for providing your incredible perspectives today. I want to say thank you to the chairman and ranking member Thune for their partnership in hosting this important hearing, and to all my fellow members that were here. we would ask that any additional statements or questions they may have for the record be submitted to the committee clerk by within 5 business days from today, or 5 p.m. next Thursday, July 20th, 2023. And I will say the hearing is adjourned. Thank you.